challenges with stress, overwhelm in terms of the holidays, and making plans for the new year, but still struggling and stressing about the plans for the new year and things that you want to accomplish. And then on top of that, do you have some pets in your house? And are you telling your pets your troubles or having them start getting a little bit more reactive just because they're absorbing your stress? I'm Holly Pitus, and I am an emotion code body code practitioner. I do a couple other things too, and I want to welcome you to tonight. So let me just get I have to get a message here, a comment, because I want to make sure that you can see it. There we go. So I want to always make sure that the comments are coming up. And I am working with the emotion code chart. And what happens with the chart, let me hide the ticker at the bottom there. So if you take a look at some of these emotions, like you can have stress, anger, crying, negative self-talk, feelings of failure. All of these things can be hindering you in what you are trying to accomplish, either now, to wrap projects up for the end of this year, or for any projects that you want to start in the new year. And it really doesn't matter what time of year it is. I think that there's always these cycles that people go through. And so you've got all of these things on your plate, and you've got all of these things that you need to accomplish, and yet you feel like you still are not getting everything done. So you might feel like you're procrastinating. You might feel like you're just spinning your wheels, that you're working, but you're really not, having anything to show for it at the end of the day. And when you have these frustrations and you've got this nervous energy about you, the people around you and the animals around you can pick it up. And so then they might be reacting to that negative or frenzied energy that you are putting out. That's why so often, when there's a pressure of a deadline, suddenly people's tempers get short because they're all feeling pressured and they're feeling everybody else's pressure. And it's just this frenzy that kind of grows. So I work with the emotion code, and because you found me here, you probably are a little bit familiar with it. You see the book behind me. That is the Emotion Code book. It is a system that was developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson. He's a retired holistic chiropractor, and he just discovered that although people were having really good physical alignments with their chiropractic treatments, they were still having the same issues or ailments. It was really interesting. I was seeing a snippet on television and they were talking about people that have had body or organ transplants. So they've had heart transplants or kidney transplants, but particularly this issue was talking about heart transplants and how the recipient of the transplant suddenly has some personality changes. They develop different interests after the transplant. When they do research and they find out about the person whose heart they have received, they find out that their likes and their dislikes are fitting with the person that had passed away and that they received their organ. So we know that our bodies are just receptacles for our emotions and our experiences. And these emotions and experiences can get housed, that the emotions of them, the energy of them, the vibration of them can get housed in our different organs. So that's why when you say, oh, I've got this work project and it's a pain in my neck, that's where some of your frustration is going. Or you can find that it might be a certain time of year that you get a particular ailment. I don't know, your knees hurt or your back hurts or things like that. And a lot of times you can say, well, the weather's changing, so it's probably tied into the weather. Well, it might also be the anniversary of something significant in your life. getting fired, someone died, serious breakup, heartbreak, things like that. So it's one of the wonderful things that the emotion code can work with. So I like to do demonstrations, but I'm not seeing anybody on yet that's volunteering. So let me just tell you a little bit more about what I can do to help benefit you. So with working with the emotion code and the body code goes far deeper into some of these emotions that can get housed very deeply in our lodged in different energies of our body. So it's a pretty significant way to have it. I'm stumbling over my words. Wait a minute. Let me take a drink of water here. Water is one of the most important parts of our energy systems, and having the emotion code and the body code working. And so it helps keep everything flowing. If you're dehydrated, nothing is really going to work very well. And so part of sort of smoothing the communication lines for the energy to flow with the emotion code and body code, water is one of the most important ingredients. And I think if you saw my promo tonight, now let me just see if I can find their picture. I'm going to show you let's see. This is Lucy and Dottie playing. I'm not sure if I can get it to play or not. There we go. So.
Oh, they can play. Sure, they can play.
So that is my granddaughter's voice in the background. And so that's Dottie with the big dot on the back, and Lucy. And they're both rescues. We also have a third rescue named Jethro. And, there's all of these different emotions of our family, my husband and I, our granddaughter who comes and visits often. And so the energies that we are putting out, Lucy, who has been with us for 5 years, and then getting the new dogs, Dottie and Jethro. And for both Dottie and Jethro, we really don't have any history. I have very little history on Lucy from when she came originally. But you're getting all of these strangers, essentially, in the same room, and everybody's got their own fears and concerns and experiences that give us expectations. And so trying to blend all of these relationships, when we're talking about people and dogs, it could be people and cats, people and horses, people and other people, like your family relationships, your love relationships, your work relationships. And so, there's these emotions that we have that we either carry them ourselves. We can be very burdened by some of these emotions that we don't recall the event at all that happened. We don't really even know where we absorbed these emotions from or adopted these emotions. But for some reason, we have them. They weren't properly released in the beginning. And so now we just sort of carry them around. People know it as emotional baggage or negative baggage. And sometimes it's hard to realize or recognize on yourself. But when you start thinking about your friends or your coworkers or people that you know, and you're like, I see them doing things, or I see them, they're always doing this, or they're always, and it could be something simple. It could be like they're always just a little bit late, or their car is always a mess, or, they wait until like just before the holidays, and, things might get a little bit serious with their love relationships, and they break it off because they're just a little bit concerned about their commitment. So this is where the emotion code can help decipher things. So if we go back to our emotion code chart, if I can find it, here we go. So with the emotion code chart, it's really a pretty simple experience to go through a session. So you can come with your list of items, and you can reach that on my on my website. You can download the list. And there are things like, it might be some body aches or discomforts. It could be, and it can be anywhere. So that's, headaches, stomachs, foot aches, knee aches, back aches, sleeplessness, restless sleep, digestive things. And another fun one also is sort of a food items. So if you find yourself always reaching for the same candy bar or too much to drink in terms of like alcohol or coffee or sodas or what have you, some of these foods that are really not doing you any favor and you'd really like to delete them, but you're so used to reaching for it that it's really hard to give up something that you are used to having. So the emotion code can go through, and what we do is we ask questions. It's yes or no. So even if you've had some sort of traumatic event in your past, you don't have to relive the story. You don't have to reveal the story. We can go through asking these yes or no questions of, if it's, suppose you don't want to eat cookies and you find yourself reaching for cookies all the time, or you plan to not buy any cookies and you're at the grocery store or a convenience store and then they have a big plate of cookies right there and they look good always, and so you just last minute you just grab the cookie and then you eat it and then you feel guilty. Especially if you go to the convenience stores, some of those cookies are a couple inches in diameter. Do you ever read the back, the label? Some of those cookies are like 1,000 calories just for that one cookie. So it might make you happy for the moment, but afterwards you can feel guilty and sorry that you ate it. And then you're going to do self-blaming. And so all of these emotions are things that you can just tag onto yourself so that the next time you go into a situation that you're going to maybe be a little uncertain about how to proceed in it, all of these negative emotions and this emotional baggage is just going to come swirling around for you. So we can get rid of it for you. And so what we do is we just ask questions about, for this event, or, you're talking about having this sort of issue that you want to get rid of. Are there any negative trapped emotions associated with it? And then we go through the chart. Are they in column A? Are they in column B? Which row are they? And then is it something like failure or depression or pride, shame, shock? What is it? Confusion, wishy-washy feelings, wishy-washy on your decisions. We identify that, and then through like a biofeedback method, we release it. And typically it just sort of dissipates. So it's really a unique kind of experience. Come back and visit me again. I can do a demonstration for you. I always like to be able to let people experience what this feels like just on a kind of a, quick one-to-one level. And then additionally, you're able to book sessions with me. It's really easy to schedule the appointment. So you can either book it from Facebook if that's where you are. I have a link on my YouTubes also. And so you can book there. You would go to either getfeelingbetter.com or my Facebook page, Get Feeling Better. And let me spell my name for you. It is Holly Pitas, Pitas. I'm going to do a test here where the caption is always misspelling my name, so I'm going to pronounce it as Pitas and see if that corrects it. So it's so anyway, so what you would do is you would go to the website. It's best to sign up for a couple of sessions. They're each a half an hour long, 25 minutes, and we can work through a lot of your issues. And so it can be things like things that you want to get rid of, like maybe you want to stop procrastinating or you want to stop eating cookies, or maybe it's something that you want to accomplish. So you want to go for a promotion at work and there's something that is hesitating, causing you hesitation to actually speak up for yourself or promote the work that you have done and promote your own accomplishments. Maybe you're looking for a new job, and you want to get the new job, but you're not quite sending out your resume or doing the details. So there's so many things. We have our goal, and then we've got so many little pieces that we have to do in order to make that thing happen. And so the emotion code can help sort of clear the clutter for you and break down those obstacles so that you would have a clear road ahead for moving forward. And then the way this can all tie into your pets, whatever kind of pet you have, whether they're, it's a turtle or a goldfish or a horse or a dog or a cat, especially if it's somebody that you live with, like a dog or a cat or a bird, they feel your energy. So they know when you walk in the door, as animals are very good readers of people. And that. When your dog likes somebody or doesn't, or if your cat likes somebody or doesn't, and they certainly let their feelings be known. Horses, those are pretty big animals, and if they don't like you, they can they just don't want you to ride them. They don't want to be around you. They'll react very definitely. So got to mind your own energy, or as my friend Michael says, mind your own vibration. And when you can release some of these negative elements that are hanging around by a session with the emotion code or body code, then again, you can just have greater, smoother sailing. So thank you so much for joining me and tuning into this. I look forward to seeing you again next time. I'm here on Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern time, 7 p.m. Get Feeling Better, and also my YouTube, which is Get Feeling Better and under Holly Bitis. All right, thanks. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much. Take care. All right. Where is the end of this? I'm pushing my stop button. Why is it not stopping? All right. I think I'm going to have to see if I can end it and actually probably edit out the end. Okay. Thanks.